Hey friend, welcome to Self Transformed, a podcast redefining self-care through simple fitness, nutrition, and mindset habits. I'm your host, Emily Nichols, certified personal trainer, Whole30 coach, and Taco Tuesday enthusiast. Hey, I know the struggle is real when it comes to taking care of you. I too am a busy working mom who felt physically and emotionally drained until I took action on my own transformation journey. I finally found the solutions to feeling confident and living a healthy lifestyle that doesn't feel hard, and now I'm on a mission to equip you with sustainable tools to help transform your life from the inside out, guilt-free. Together, we will simplify your health and fitness into daily habits that don't feel like another thing on your long to-do list, but daily actions that light you up instead. So if you're ready to redefine self-care and step into your own self-transformation, then let's do this. You're listening to episode 133 of Self Transformed. Hey friend, welcome back to the show. Woo! What a crazy start to 2022. I know so many folks have been sick with you know what. I have just recently gotten over it and I'm still tired like all the time. And I was feeling a little overwhelmed because I wasn't getting the things done that I wanted to get done. But I have been listening to a book that I've been wanting to review on the podcast. As you know, a couple months ago, we started doing some monthly book reviews around books on habits and being a busy working mom. And this book is really going to help you figure out how to lose that overwhelm coming from a sense of time. Time is our most precious commodity. It's one of the biggest challenges I hear from all the girls coming into STU or any of my other programs, that they just don't have enough time. So today we're going to be talking about the book Overwhelmed, Work, Love, and Play When No One Has the Time by Brigid Schulte. And what I really love about this author is she's a busy working mom, so she gets it. I loved listening just like from the very first 10 minutes. I was like, okay, because she seemed like a very frazzled working mom. And the tips she provides in this book and the analogies she gives us is really going to help you figure out how to lose the overwhelm. So let's get into this book review. Before I do, make sure you come over and be a part of the Self Transformed community. We're going to be hosting another free mini workshop later this month. That will be on Wednesday, February 2nd at 12 p.m. Eastern. Come on over to the group, though. In the meantime, you can go to bit.ly/self-transformed-fam. There is a link in the show notes for that as well, because I always have my girls vote on what they would like the mini workshop to be each month. So this month's mini workshop, as always, it's always 15 minutes or less. There'll be some type of action item with it just to give you a sense of accountability, a sense of forward momentum as you're going into this new year to start taking action in regards to your own healthy habits and your self-care. Okay, gang? Also, Self Transform You will be launching again. It's launching every month now, y'all. I'm so excited about that. So it's going to be launching again on Monday, February 14th. Yes, Valentine's Day. What a wonderful Valentine's Day gift to give to yourself. A way to develop a strategic health plan focused around habit strategy with some additional accountability from me with a one-on-one call, weekly texting, emails, all the things. You can go to selftransformu.com to learn more. Okay, let's get into today's book review, Overwhelmed, Work, Love, and Play When No One Has the Time by Brigid Schulte. So, like I said, I really enjoyed listening to this book because I could tell she was a busy working mom. I as you all know, I listen to personal development books, and because I usually listen to them in the shower while I'm getting ready, if I'm driving, while I'm cooking dinner, whatnot, and I really loved her perspective because I feel like I could really relate to her. So what happens when you feel overwhelmed? What actually happens when you feel overwhelmed? Well, there's actually a physical response in your body. It's kind of like the fight or flight syndrome. And when you feel threatened, your actual nervous system responds by releasing a flood of stress hormones, okay, including adrenaline or cortisol. You know, cortisol is that stress hormone. And when it's really, really high, that's when it makes it really hard for you to lose weight. Maybe you're tired all the time. It's it's your body's way of like, it's an emergency, like SOS action. So your heart pounds faster, your muscles tighten, your blood pressure rises. Even you might find yourself, your breathing is, quickened, and your senses are just all over the place. But there's also other physical responses you might feel to overwhelm, like aches and pains, or chest pain, or feeling like your heart is racing, like almost like an anxiety attack. Exhaustion or trouble sleeping, so headaches, shakiness, maybe digestive problems. I know sometimes when I'm nervous or have a lot on my mind, it messes with my tummy for sure. We've talked about how your gut knows what's up physically and emotionally, mentally, and all that. So definitely listen and look for those cues. But over time, that can really lead to some health problems over time. And like I said, the girls coming into our community are always talking about how time is just one of their biggest challenges. So I loved what the author brought to this book, because today we're going to be talking about overwhelm in the sense of time. Time is your most precious commodity, and we're throwing our time away like time confetti, is one of the analogies the author gives in this book. So there's like a bunch of like small, like seemingly like insignificant tasks you do daily that really add up over time. Okay. So the author gives this chart that I thought was just like, oh my gosh, I felt called out when I looked it up after I listened to it in the book. But so let me give you a sense. This is just something Brigid, the author, had outlined in the book. She's actually a journalist, and here's some of the activities that were being thrown out like time confetti. Like I imagine like one of those confetti cannons, like boom, and you see all those little pieces of confetti. Think of all these little pieces of confetti have all these little tasks written on them after it explodes everywhere. Okay, so here's the thing. So these seemingly small activities add up to big things. So you check 2 emails. Okay, that could take 30 seconds. You respond to an email. Okay, another 30 seconds. Okay, that's only like a minute. You check for Instagram notifications. Okay, that's 45 seconds. You reply to an Instagram notification. Okay, that's another 30 seconds. Okay, you check 3 Facebook notifications. Okay, 30 seconds. You reply to one of those notifications, maybe another 45. You have an alarm reminder go off on your phone. Like, okay, it's a reminder to go put your clothes in the dryer. Okay, that's like 10 seconds. Then you get a bunch of texts in. So you check 4 texts, then you reply to 4 texts, and maybe that takes like 120 seconds. So that's time confetti or time graffiti. That was 6 minutes and 20 seconds right there. That was 21 activities, 6 minutes and 20 seconds. Those seem like super duper small, but when you're doing that like constantly throughout the day, that adds up to a lot of time. So as a result of that, you're not really enjoying or relaxing when you're not like actually doing something. Like you don't have like a scheduled appointment or meeting or driving your kids somewhere. You are not finding time to relax and take time for yourself, because all these little pieces of time confetti add up over time. Okay, you're reading unimportant updates. You're getting notifications from your phone. You're aimlessly, then you start scrolling social media because you had to respond to these Facebook messages, and now you have spent an hour just, a deep dive into silly dog videos or whatever. Like I've totally felt called out listening to this book. So whenever we try to do, one or more activity at a time, we just end up not enjoying either. We have that analogy that I brought up so many times, like we have so many tabs open on our heads, and we're always constantly, those wheels are always turning, and you aren't giving yourself a sense of relaxation, of leisure time, as Brigid talks in the book. And over time, that makes you just feel tired, anxious, unfulfilled, and maybe you're just on edge, right? You always got something going on in your head. I mean, my husband sometimes looks at me, he goes, I can just tell your brain is just zzz, because I'm looking around, I'm thinking of this, and usually I'll start picking at my nail polish too. So what that all comes down to is then you start feeling overwhelmed, because all your time is being shot out like from a big confetti cannon all over the place, and it's sprinkled everywhere. I don't like the word multitasking. We do talk a lot about habit stacking, where, you're queuing you up with one habit to start another habit, which is fine. But I know I am so guilty of multitasking. Like, y'all, there's been times where I'm like trying to like do like a little mini workout while I'm cooking dinner. Oh, and I have my laptop open and I'm trying to like answer some emails or write an email. And oh, I'm replying to like my group text from my girlfriends at the same time. Like, I'm not kidding. I've caught myself doing that so many times. And I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I'm not getting quality time to anybody. And this just feels overwhelming. So let's reclaim all of this fractured time and just defend against that time confetti. So we want to get the most out of our free time, and that means really just focusing on what matters, removing all the distractions and interruptions, and creating a few like protective boundaries. Okay, so some of the best steps you can take to stop this time confetti from like, you know, exploding your time all over the place is these 3 steps, okay? So number 1, do a habit inventory. Oh my goodness, we have talked about this on the show before. We do this in the Habits That Stick Starter Kit. We do a deep dive into this with STU as well. So this is like a diary of what you do all day. If you were to write down every single little activity, kind of like that chart I just went over with you, where all that time confetti is going everywhere, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, look where all my time went. And remember, I've created a free download for you of a habit inventory worksheet to help you do this. And there's some prompting questions on there as well to help you find those time wasters. You can go to bit.ly/habit inventory to download that for free and start using that. Okay, there's always a link in the show notes for that as well. Number 2, another tip to overcome that overwhelm and taking back control of your time, put your phone away. Put it away. Like if you have to like lock it up somewhere else, put it on airplane mode so you don't get those notifications to disrupt you, do it. I need to do this more personally. You know, your text will always wait for you. You know, I get it if you got kids driving or kids that need to be picked up, you know, keep it close by, you know, and discipline yourself not to pick it up every single time you get a notification and start scrolling through whatever. But put your phone away. That is one of the biggest distractions, and you'll notice when you do your habit inventory worksheet how much of a time suck social media is in your phone. And then number 3, use the habit strategies like I teach. So if you find yourself, you know, after you go through your habit inventory and you notice a lot of habits that you're like, man, I'm not really happy with some of these habits in my life, you can change it. Use the habit loop that we talk about in STU to be able to change your cues, change your reward from it, change the what the actual habit is, you know, and that takes time and grace. Obviously, we've talked tons on the show how it takes 21 days to form a habit, but 90 days for it to form a lifestyle. And that's truly what a lot of this is, these are just habits you developed with that time confetti over time. And we just need to get a broom and a dustpan, scoop up all those little pieces of time confetti, put them all in one big trash can, and stop spreading yourself so thin. So in number 4, bonus tip for you is to take action, friend. You know, using that free habit inventory that I talked about, or you could take advantage of my mini course, the Habits That Stick Starter Kit. You can find it in the show notes or at bit.ly/habits that stick kit. It is a super digestible, not overwhelming course to help you kind of go through your own habit inventory, track your habits, and use some habit strategies that I teach to help you make new habits stick in your life and get rid of the habits that are not serving you anymore. So remember, you can go get that at any time and start at any time you're ready. Okay, gang? I hope today's episode was helpful. If there's a book you want me to talk about that maybe you think I've read before that you'd love to recommend to me, definitely come find me on Instagram at EmilyNichols22. Shoot those recommendations my way. I'm always digging deeper into personal development and especially books around being a busy working mom and, of course, habits. So just a reminder, gang, the next round of STU starts on Valentine's Day, Monday the 14th. You can go to selftransformu.com and go ahead and reserve your spot now for the next round. I only take on about 10 girls a month just so I don't spread myself too thin. Hashtag self-care, right? And come join us in the Facebook community as well so you can catch the next workshop and you can vote in the meantime before that happens on Wednesday, February 2nd. Oh my gosh, where did this month go? We're almost in February. Let's keep this momentum going. Let's lose the overwhelm and find ways to have that time freedom we all crave and deserve. I'll catch you here later next week, girl. Well, real quick, before you go, if you love today's show and know your girlfriends need to hear this message too, then grab a screenshot, post it to your Instagram stories, and tag me at EmilyNichols22, because the more mamas out there hearing this message, the more empowered we'll all feel to take care of ourselves so we can pour from a full cup. Or the number one way you can thank me for this podcast is to leave a rating and review in iTunes. That way, more mamas will find the show here too. Love you and appreciate you, girlfriends. See you next time.